Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. That's Warwick, and that's what we're covering today, in a Master Tier Korean game with a late invade on award by himself, because that's what you have to do to make this champion work and anything other than low elo. Really not the best season for the Wick. I do miss Wick 99, basically the Z99 analog, but for Warwick, and he hasn't played for a few seasons though. We obviously have the Kane doing the pathological red side clear that he seemingly has to always do. We see everything, we start on the blue. I kind of like, I don't like cheese strategies overall, but this isn't a cheese strategy. This is taking an explicit need for most junglers to do a red side and basically saying, hey, what if I just take your blue side at the same time? He's going to come across here, realize, hey, this is all gone because he's gone leashless, and now the Warwick will have a lot of cool things that he might be able to accomplish. So let's see why and how he uses this champion. Obviously, the Kane will most likely be looking at, can I have vision toggle please, right? Thank you so much. The red quadrant here. The level 2 granted by the Rengar, although as I have been told since Season 4, and I have told you for many years, if you play Rengar, ban Jax. That was always the level 1 thing that we discussed. Ryan Choi, Season 4, 4 Dorans played Rush. Hey guys, you only have one thing besides smashing your face into the keyboard, ban Jax. That's what he told us. Now, the problem here is we're going to basically be going from the red side quadrant into a gank on the Xayah Rakan. We're going to have the flash passive from the Nautilus into the Fear combo. We're going to save our Q drag in case he does want to flash, but he isn't actually doing that. So let's just watch that a bit in slow motion while I talk a little bit about what this means. Now, Kane will show top lane as expected. Here we go. Prime the E. We get the Fear. We're going to auto tech here. We're going to hold the Q there just in case. But Kane will now show top lane, which he already did, and we'll see this. So he knows explicitly that Warwick took his blue side. He knows explicitly that Warwick's going to go to his red side. Therefore, Kane should be going to this side. In what This is for the gameplay channel, right? Like, this is high elo analysis only. This isn't the low elo channel. This isn't the coaching channel, right? But why would you not just take his blue side and then repeat gank top lane? I mean, the Rengar is absolutely smurfing on this Jax, which is fantastic, but I feel like Warwick was a little bit nervous about that, so he's done this red quickly. Just red's always good, and he's gone to his top side. Aha! Oh. Well, he must be in my blue then. Aha! Guys, he's bot lane. There you go. This is exactly how it works. It's really like playing with a toddler, basically, doing the peekaboo game, but we see the Jax up the top side here, a little bit low. Justings level 4, maybe a bit brazen, even for a Warwick. It is a Jax, he has Counter-Strike, he has Flash, he has Leap Strike. I mean, do we really want to be playing with that kind of fire? Kind of have to. Now, the Kane should, if he has seen the Warwick here, realize, okay, look, the Warwick did the red, he's only added, one more CS to his tracking. I should have the ability to do the Raptors and the Krugs. So what Warwick does, which is a smart thing here, is tries to go for the Q3 combo on the Tristana, who saves a rocket jump perfectly, which is one of the reasons why this champion struggles in this MMR range. But the benefit here, and we talked about this in the video, I'm going to pause it very quickly. I know you guys don't always like that on this channel, but the red side quadrant clear technique allows you to kind of, do the red side quadrant, gank this lane, go back to base, now you go top side. Enemy jungler does the same thing, which means they can counter jungle your second rotation camps as they respawn, right? 4 minutes 20, 4 minutes 40-ish. So what you do, instead of vertical jungling yourself, you cut through mid lane, gank the lane, and cut them off using the collapse to kill them. So the Warwick basically goes ganking top lane here, takes a scuttle, ganks mid lane, with the intent of basically saying, hey, if you're on my red side, Kane, we're going to have some business to do. But Kane shows up here, which means we know he's not on it, so he's going to go back to this and this, probably gank this, so I can go back to my blue side. Do I like this kind of activity blindly without thinking when you're not in high elo? No. I think it's better to have a more straightforward, early clear. You can do the red side quadrant as well. Red, Krugs, Raptors, go ganking, fall back to your blue side. But we know Kane most likely is going to segue up to that top Krug camp, segue up to the gank again on the top side, because Rengar is auto-pushing that with a terminal velocity. And that's a terminal velocity joke, maybe. And the Warwick says, I know this is going to happen, so I'm going to shadow it and shadow the counter gank. There's the Counter-Strike, which we now know is down. He's going to move into the brush here. He's going to want to go back to base. Now, Kane could be shadowing, and Kane could also just straight up reset. We see in our inventory that Kane has said, I don't want anything to do with that lane. Nope, I'm going back to base. See ya. And, you know, one could not blame him. But the Warwick here is investing this time just in case. I think at this particular stage, you want this wave to shove and then get out yourself. You're basically sacrificing your wolves and sharing experience with the Rengar here, which is not what we really want to do. And instead, he's going to go for the all-out. Would we play this like this? You know, is it a bit... No. You know, I was kind of hoping, hey, maybe they could get away with it and we could kind of results-based it, but I think we can all agree, just base. Like, your Rengar's got this under control. There's no reason to coin flip it. Just leave. Kayn is very clearly not arriving at this particular stage. We know he's going to go to the bot side. And if you are Kayn at this point, are we diving the bot lane here to see what we can do? No? Okay. So... you know, missed opportunity, and now you have pings on the Kayn by the... See, the problem is when a bot lane actually understands when it's diveable because enemy jungler is dead, you see the pings. Now the Warwick's already come out of base with a pickaxe and boots, so he's a little bit fast. We are good against Kayn. Just be cautious about the knock from the Rakan bird, man. He goes in. Okay. We have a game, ladies and gentlemen. The Tristana has rotated with level 6 and say, yo, can I flash and just kill the Kai'Sa? Yes, I can. And now, obviously, we're going to get rocket jumped on, chunked out. Whew, so many bad things happening in this game. This is... Look. If you're playing Warwick in this MMR range, you're a beast, right? If you're not playing a top lane, that is. Top lane is fine, but jungle, oh man, I've done this climb, I know what this feels like, and it just feels terrible, man. I'd rather go back to Season 9 and do it again. This kind of hyper-aggressive strategy... you need to do it. You need to think about how you're going to be playing these scenarios. You have to, because if you don't, the Kayn will outfarm you, the Graves will outfarm you, the Nidalee will counter jungle you. All the meta champions will just beat you. You cannot gank a Tristana. So what you should learn from this Warwick here is, I like where your head's at. Strategically, I like where it's at. Your execution makes me very upset. You're not going to kill a Tristana with rocket jump unless you've ult, so don't even bother. This was nice. This was great. Lovely. Just back to base. Don't greed for it, alright? Jack's got... fortunately nothing, but like, that's not really the kind of thing we want to go for here. I mean, I know we both died and I know the execute, yeah, I'm aware of it, but it's just, we're lucky, right? We're lucky. It could have very easily gone the other direction where Jax is getting a double kill. And we've all seen this in our games. So, out of base, again, nice aggression here, but once you see the Tristana, just leave, you know, and go farming. Like, right now, we should have finished our Gromp, right? Which means we should be 6, but it's gonna be it might be damn close. No, there we are, 6. Not as close as I thought. You know, now we can go do something mid lane. Maybe we can do the Herald here. Maybe we can counter jungle and invade here with some pressure. Maybe we can actually dive top lane now with our ultimate. So even though you do want to play aggressively with the Warwick, as we're going into our Q-Max, the way he's playing, the fisting he's kind of trying to stick with, no. Just always go W-Max jungle Warwick, yeah? Q-Max is great for top lane, it's great for your skirmishing and jungle too, but the W is what enables you to do what he's trying to do way better, right? And this is obviously still, I think still like, I want to say 3rd or 4th highest mastery points all time for me, even if I'm not actively playing him for a season or two, just because W is very good. But I've played a lot of games on this champion, and having that passive movement speed and passive attack speed increase plus cooldown benefit is just too good on this ability. There we go. See, we just go for the fear and we chain the CC together. You don't need to launch your entire corpse at the Jax. You can just, if he has flash or leap strike and you don't know, he's going to use it. So, walk up close, get your fear off, wait for that to about to finish, and then ult. Guarantee the chain CC that you have. You don't always have to be giga flashy. We took the Herald. That's the most important thing for me here. We basically know that we can go for that Herald and stack it up. Kayn, on the other hand, is having a remarkably passive game in terms of decision-making. We're just not seeing a lot of orb-gathering oomph, you know? Like the main channel video I released yesterday on the main channel. If you click in the link in the description below on the main channel, you'll see it. Kayn, Charisma, Super Smurf Carry, showcases how to 1v9, 90% KP, 20 plus kill bomb. That kind of stuff is what a Kayn should be trying to do all the time, especially if you're not challenged. If you're not yet challenged, right? If you want to be challenger, that's how you would do that. In the meantime, though, we do have the Swanye go across the river, down by the river, down by the sea. It's just humming some nursery rhymes to himself, and Kayn's in the bush waiting for him, goes for the solo kill, snacks it up. So when someone tells you, yo, base Kayn is weak, they don't play Kayn. Because base Kayn ain't weak. He's just weaker against certain champions and weaker than a roster Shadow Assassin, because that's like comparing yourself when you're 6 to yourself when you're 35 muscle peak. Now, we kind of waffle a little bit here as a Warwick. I think we should be looking to you know, maybe do a bit of like a contingency farming here where you know the Kane's going to try take stuff. And I think what I like to do here is a little thieving, a little cat women, like little cat burglary. Could I go here? Yes. Could I go here afterwards? Yes. So can I hold it against a Tristana? Nope. So why don't I just try and take my red quickly, maybe my Krugs, do something bot lane, or do my red, wait for the mid lane, and then go mid lane, collapse together, but you're not going to be able to do anything when the Kane is doing Raptors, the Tristana smacking this turret. Now you can go and kind of a little bit, you look at the damage he's already doing, you have to use your E just to get to this Canny minion, right? Like you need that wave to thin out a little bit, and even then, she's gonna get it. So is it worth the time invest? I'd be doing the Krugs. You know, and then maybe looking to do something bot lane if they stayed out. Otherwise, reset, go topside, snowball this guy again. Definitely what we would want to do because we're at 2.3k gold. So this kind of goblin-like behavior truly is orcish. And I really think that in that situation, just leave the mid lane. It's going to go down. Take the red, take the Krugs, go back to base, spend all your gold, get yourself a fat Tiamat. We are strong enough for a fat Tiamat. For a fat Titanic. Like, you could just rush a Titanic here. You could have Ionian and Titanic rush, honestly. But I'm still of the, you know, description of builds. I'm still of the... I would describe the builds as best to go Tiamat into your Blade of the Rune King. Then you can kind of go to your Sheen item, which should be Trinity Force, and then finish your Titanic. And that should be your core Warwick build at this particular stage. Okay, that's your 1v9 build. The bulk just feels too good still. It's not as juiced as it has been in the past, but we do enjoy it. Let's see what he does. Boom, bulk straight up. Now, I would prefer having a Tiamat in pocket over a straight up bulk rush, because I do feel his issue, this player's issue right here, is he has run around with Q max, 2 points in E. I don't like that at all. If you're going to play Warwick, you need map rotations. You need attack speed. You need to be able to duel, and that is the turn ability. The Q gives you the turn ability snack, but the auto attacks are what people don't really understand. They know what the Q does, but the auto attacks and the passive is what we really want to activate. And with Blade, it's just so good. But there is a line of thought that says, hey, well, I'm getting attack speed from Blade, and the base form W is fine. I might as well get some Q chomps, which is also, you know, it's okay. It's not wrong. It's just, I've coached and played this champion in jungle since rework. Like on day one I was playing it, so you know, I know it, I feel it, I understand it. W max is way better for 99.999% of you in terms of your map mobility, your attack speed healing, your fisting, your Q second will always give you the big chomps, and then with Blade, Tiamat, Trinity Force, you're gonna smurf every game. Here we have the teleport. Let's just start that again. With the teleport committal, we've done our red buff. We're going to rotate to this and hopefully kill the Rakan on the backside here, but we decided not to waste our time with that. We're going to smite the Xayah, go for the Giga E Fear. We obviously want to make sure that our ult is on the right target, so we're going to avoid the counter-strike from the Jax, who goes in and hits a 4-man. Now we're going to auto-tech the thing in front of us. Jax gets that going. Kane is out of position. We save our R for the Tristana jump, and beautifully timed. We're going to flash Q through onto that Jax. Nice Fear combo there. And we should be able to get a lot of kills here as well. We'll just keep auto-attacking that, kill the Jax as well. And that hits onto this guy, and now that should be a 6-1-1 Warwick. So, Tiamat is for your farming econ, W is for your map mobility and general sustain, and, you know, attack speed boost. But the build with Blade of the Rune King first, it does those things. It does these things. Now, that we just bought that, right? And we already have 837 extra damage to champions. And that was a brilliant use of patience, right? We didn't just run in like an idiot at our people. We held it, we made sure we killed the Xayah with an E, we waited for the Tristana to jump in, immediately suspend her in animation with an R, and then we can of course use a flash Q3 E combat onto the Jax, put him on the other side of us. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Nicely played. And that's, at the end of the day, what Warwick is, right? He is someone who understands and anticipates enemy junglers' movements. And you play around it beautifully. You anticipate things beautifully. These are the things we're looking to do, and I realized announcements was off, so we didn't get the triple kill stuff, but I'll put it up. There you go. And this is the kind of stuff I like to see from the champion, but this Kane, I feel, should have definitely done more to hurt him in terms of econ. And I think we've seen why this Kane perhaps is not exactly the best player, because he didn't do that at all. And Warwick benefited. But against a better jungler, Warwick would be down 20-30 CS with this playstyle. He's played great, but we can all agree on that, I hope. So the teammate just helps offset that a little bit. She's pushing mid lane by herself. Rakan and Tristana on the bottom side here. So, I mean, Xayah will have her ult. We just don't want to go I thought she would just press the button. She just chose not to press the button. But now she's low HP, which means we can just... It's not going to help you. We're going to get you. Now she's going to press the button. We got rooted, but now we can chase you this way. Hey, you know what would be great? You know what would be really great? If that movement speed was a little higher. You know, the cooldown was a little lower. Maybe some more attack speed as well, just to help us for that juice. Yeah. That's why you like it. We're still going to get her, but it's about getting her sooner. Nice slow, thank you so much. It's just about getting her sooner. You know? I'm about time efficiency in this game. Tempo control, time efficiency. And anything that gives me those advantages, like can I kill this person or do this thing sooner such that I can get the next thing quicker as well, that's what we want. And if you're high elo, that's also what you want. So, we'll flex into this. We do see the Kayn on the bottom side. Again, this is not a very good Kayn game to watch, but at the same time also shows you what you can do on the map when you just force the issue a little bit, right? Like you've got good strategies in terms of your champion knowledge and your pathing, and you be the driver, right? We start with this early blue buff invade, and we are dominating the tempo ever since, and Kayn just has never got into the game, really. We have that Q3 E combo, obviously unstoppable, to avoid the CC, and we also fear 3 people, which is beautiful. It's wonderfully done. And now Xayah has gone back to the mid lane, and you know, we've got the Kindle Gem and the Sheen at this point, so our Q bite is gonna be munchy, munchy, munchy. And we don't really need to go into the Tiamat attack. So when you get to this point in the game, obviously the Tiamat is superfluous to our needs. I do like this rune set. This is a standard rune set. We used to have, for Volley and Warwick, a lot of really cool rune sets we could run. Like I would run a lot of domination secondary stuff on both champions. But it's just, you need the celerity. You need the water walking to get around the map. Like you just need that utility to stick with the modern game. And obviously we have Gust Walker Hatchling, which helps us as well, so that is all really conducive to being where we need to be, you know, and matching up with champions that we otherwise could not stick to. There is Iceborne Tech, which you can kind of go, but I'm not in the business of being a meat shield. I much prefer this Trinity Force Blade of the Rune King Tech. I just always love that team meta. People say, well, it's a waste of 1,200 gold. Those people, you know, you don't want to talk to them because they don't understand reality and business, right? It's an investment. There's a reason why the rank 1 Kale jungle video I made last year just bought Tiamat to sell it. It was because the camps she got from having it greatly superseded its cost over that same time frame, and she was able to sell it and get a fraction of that value back, and she paid for using it, but it also gave her all the value to get the items that she needed to win. Simple. And it's the same thing for Warwick. If games like this aren't necessarily possible, in terms of your actual 1v9 capability, in terms of the fisting, and you have to be a bit more cautious about your map control, and you have to farm a bit more, that Tiamat helps you a shit ton. A shit ton. Okay? And not to mention, also it helps with your passive in general, and your team fighting in general, and your Q bite in general, because, you know, pickaxe into Tiamat's a great buy. And then, of course, you go Blade, and you're just fisting everybody. It's the best way to do it. That is 6 years of 6.5 years now of Warwick jungle coaching and playing and experience and 750,000 to 1 million points. Like, I've tried it all at this stage. I've tried it all. It's the reason I have the live guide as well, you know? It's also about what feels good too. This definitely feels good, but it's just like the pets are great, but they're not great enough to replace Tiamat. So, here we go. Running into the fight. Got some E-Fears, little chomp. Really, you're just a good disruptor, right? So Rast is a very, very strong thing, but Warwick being fed is like a better Rast almost, right? Like you do what he wants to do. You disrupt, you CC, you damage soak, you heal up, you suppress, you're mobile as well to a certain degree with your Q, you're unstoppable in 2 of your spells. You have a great kit once you get to the stage, and most people, there it is. You know he's a Warwick main when he misses an ult. There's no such thing as a good Warwick main who doesn't miss ults. You know why? Because you're still using it. Still looking for the max range jump. Still looking for the combos. And invariably you miss it because that code is not that great. Like, we should hit it, but we don't hit it, but we should hit it. Oh, well, I do play Kaiser too, but I want to watch Warwick this game. Thank you so much. So, now we have Trinity Force complete. We have here 1925 damage, you can't see it. On Blade of the Rookie, match history links are always in the description. We have a reconnection and disconnection from the Rengo, who's 2-3-11. Oh god, I love a tank Rengar top lane. Oh, this is just, it's beautiful. I love it. I love it. I played Rengar, I've played, what? 1,200 games of Rengar or something like this, more. I have a lot of points. I played 600 games alone in my first season. Obviously less since, but we had the Feral Flare meta in the jungle, right? The attack speed item that scaled, and it was so good that you would just build Feral Flare, build Blade, and build Tank. But you could also just build Feral Flare and build Tank afterwards, right? So that was kind of how he was played in Pro Play, and why Dandy, who won Worlds that year, got the Rengar skin. Terrible skin, but that's why he got it, and it was awesome to see, because that was a Rengar effectively almost a one-trick at that stage. Well, still always had the Zyra and the Volley Baba, but, you know, for the Rengar, definitely. And the ability to watch and play Rengar tank viably was always so fun, man. Always so fun. And I will late to this fight, we'll rotate over here, but I do like seeing a tank Rengar as well, because here it's very different, right? You look at the bush play. The bush play is so important, but you're always going with this. He's actually not even maxing Q at all, amazingly. He's just going for the W and the E max, which is honestly smart, because your Q's not going to do anything, really. I would probably still have some kind of damage item, I feel, you know, rather than nothing. Personally, how I prefer it, but you can just do this as well. And you're just a meat soaker. Your W does so damn much in those fights. And obviously, remember, you can have better bush jumping with your Q activation. Like, don't stand still and just clunkily leap. If you press Q and it's off cooldown, you're going to jump quick into next targets and team fights. It's in the main channel video on combos and ability tricks. But this Warwick is great. It's nice to see the tank. That's a classic one, right? Aha! They fear flash. You're holding the Q over the wall. Juicy, 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 fresh. Love it. There we go. This is a nice Warwick game. This is why we like the Trinity Force too. These two items in combination are classic, age-old tonics of League of Legends. Well, not that one. Not the plated steel caps, although Ninja Tabby were better. It's these two. And you slap in a Tiamat, and honestly, that 3-atom spike, it's beautiful. So fun to watch. If you can get that and have more gold than anybody else, let's have a look here. 10.6. We have more gold than anybody else, even our ADC. It's beautiful. No one can kill you. That's when people in love, we love Flaming Warwick. Warwick, such a strong champion. I hate Warwick, such a cheap champion. Sustain. No, man. If you're behind a Warwick jungle at this level, like by this amount, you've made mistakes, my friend. You've made mistakes. The champion is very weak in the systemic ecosystem of jungle, but if you can get fed and play, there you go. Play off of your CCs, hit your ults. Very nicely done. You've got your E combos as well. Combos. Button. Here! Damage reduction. Being locked out kind of sucks, though. And I do kind of wish that our W would work on turrets. You know what I mean? Like, how cool would that be? An AFF, because we just smurfed this game up. What a fantastically quick Warwick game. Totally wasn't the absolute only high KDA replay I could find. It literally was. But it was a good one. This is how you want to play Warwick, right? Because late game, mid game, you might think he doesn't scale, but he does. He scales with your ability to play the champion. Your ability to play teamfight. Your ability to layer CC and understand when to use abilities versus the enemy's goals. It's a mental game, right? So if you're good at that and you can get this fed by 22 minutes, you should have no issue winning every game. And obviously here our farming was pretty good in spite of not having any sort of farming aid, which showcases to you don't need it 100%. I just like the option. I feel like it juices you up to Flame Horizon levels. And hey, who doesn't like Flame Horizons? Me. Don't forget, Virkayu to GG, all your courses, memberships, and everything you need to become the better jungler. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you all in the next one.